down Houston. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and germs. It is your John Lavenia Success Mastermind. I love saying that so much. Wednesday, 14th of April of 2021. I'm your guy, Glen Henderson. It's a Wednesday, like we say, and here's your general session. And who's here? It's John, the California man who knows all about the state. Love it. Hello, Gail. Nice to see you, Daisy, Virginia. I'm gonna have to get started on her pinoli cookie recipe. It's pretty good, right, John? Yeah. Hey, Evelyn. Nice to see you. And Nicola always looks so calm, like totally relaxed, centered, like nothing ever bothers Nicola. Nicola, nice to see you, Jody and Edward, our man in London, Mr. Cyril. How you doing, mate? Linda Landry's here, and Suzanne and Sandy and Giovanna. Are you actually in Italy, Giovanna, or is it just your name? Nice to see you. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the Godzilla. He's here. Good to see you, John. Hey, Daisy. Morning, evening, hello. It's so great to have all of us here. And I was, do you like my new background? What do you think?
It's pretty snazzy.
Pretty snazzy, right? Pretty fancy. It's in my new office here in Katy, Texas, which is just on the western border of Houston. My good friend Carol Jukes is a powerhouse and a realtor, an absolute player. Let me tell. By the way, by way of referral and recommendation, if you've ever heard of anyone even thinking about buying or selling a house, tell them hit up my girl Carol. She is absolutely amazing as a realtor. Feel free to take a screenshot and write down. That's why I'm holding up her information here. See, I believe in hyping people up. Carol is the best realtor I've ever met in my life. And I kid you not, I don't care where you live, which part of the country. Do you know that one time Carol helped some clients of hers find and buy a house in Peru? Yes, Peru, as in South America, because Carol knows a guy all over the world. Carol knows a guy. I don't care what you need to get done, where it needs to be done. Call Carol. You got the number? You got it written down? Okay, y'all look me up later, and Carol will make your real estate dreams happen. Say, here endeth the Carol Jukes commercial. Anyway, she owns this building here in Katy, and I'm renting an office in her building. Carol and I are the greatest of friends. She and her, okay, you ready for this? How small does the world get? Carol's British husband, Paul, is now very good friends with my British wife, Paula. No, I did not just make that up. It's the craziest thing in the world. And they've been over to our house. We've had barbecues, and they've come over. We were at their house for Boxing Day last year. Our friends across the pond know all about Boxing Day. We were at their house for Boxing Day. They came and had brunch with us Easter Sunday. Closest Carol is my sister from another mister, if you know what I mean. So anyway, okay, that was lesson one today. You got somebody in your life that you really, really care about, that you're good friends, that you want them to do well. Pump them up. Tell people about them. If they've done a good job for you, if you know they're a terrific professional at what they do, talk about them. Tell everybody you know. It's called, what's that word? Oh yeah, networking. So network, expand somebody, do little things every day to expand somebody else's network and watch what happens to yours. I'm just saying. Now then, to the lesson at hand. I was having a conversation with a member of my business group yesterday, who's become a friend. She and her husband live in the state of South Dakota, and you'll be getting to meet her and them soon enough, I imagine. And we were talking about what some of her goals are in business and in life. And she also, in addition to working with me, excuse me, in addition to working with me and our business group, she is also a licensed hypnotherapist, which means that she is able to use hypnosis techniques and science known as neuro linguistic programming to NLP, you've heard of it, to help people solve problems, break bad habits, create good habits, effect change in their life. And as is so often the case, what has developed in our conversations is the some of the truth behind the old saying that doctors make the worst patients. You ever heard that one? Physician, heal thyself, and people who have practiced some sort of uh, healing art or some sort of coaching discipline with others are from have been known to be in in need of that same help and coaching themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so it has been the case with her, particularly in the area of some of the words that she uses, and some of the, and I'm not meaning to point her out particularly. She's just happens to be the topic of this conversation. Um, some of the words that we use and some of the formulations of sentences that she uses, or that she has used in the past, that let's just call them disempowering. I'll give you an example. Um, she was saying to me in our conversation yesterday, Glenn, I realized one of my big struggles in the venture, in the home business venture that we're working on, one of my biggest struggles, I don't know how to run a business. I mean, I can do my hypnotherapy practice, I can do this, or, coaching people in that way, emotional support and help, but I don't know how to run a business. I've never done that before, and I don't know how. And it triggered something in my head when she said that. Phrases like, I don't know how, that's kind of mild. Here's the big one, I can't. How many times have you heard somebody say, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I can't afford it? Oh my gosh, that's a big one. I can't. And by the way, our conversation today may be a little bit shorter because it's pretty much to the point. People say to me, people have heard to, I've heard people say to me and about me that I'm, a very positive, very optimistic person. So, man, Glenn, you're the most positive person I know. Well, thank you very much. Um, how do you do it? How are you so positive all the time? How are you so optimistic all the time? Well, I'll tell you, um, part of it, in fact, a big part of why I show up in the world, why I occur in the world as perhaps the most optimistic, the most positive person that many people know, is my language. I haven't always been this way. You'll know, because you and I have had conversations before, that I constantly, consistently uh, use words like yes, like moving forward, like ask me, wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. How you doing, Glenn? Fantastic. Doing great. You know what I have done in the past? I've had stretches of time when I would go shopping or, go about my business running errands of the day. And the cashier, the person, the employee that I'm working with will say, "So how are you today, sir?" "I am having the greatest day of my life." "Really? Well, what happened? What's going on?" And now we get to start a conversation. Try that sometime. Next time somebody asks you how you're doing, tell them, "I am having the greatest day of my life." Does that feel weird? Does that feel kind of fake to say that? To think about, I'm having wait a minute. How can this be the greatest? I'll tell you how this could be the greatest day of your life. You are above ground and vertical. Therefore, I've told this story before. My dad, God rest his soul, when he turned 65, it happened to be on a Sunday. We were in church, and they stopped the service. "Otis Henderson, today, 65th birthday," right? And cheering and everything. He and mom have always been very much involved in the church, leadership, teaching, and so forth. And they paused the service for a second, and pastor from the minister from the pulpit says, "So, Otis, tell us, how does it feel to now be an official senior citizen?" Dad didn't miss a beat. He said, "Better than the alternative." So, just for grins today, next time you go out, next time you're having a conversation with somebody, starts out, "Hey, Suzanne, how you doing?" "Sweetie, I am having the greatest day of my life." And you want to make it even more interesting? Think of a particular reason why today is the greatest day of your life. Well, to start with, you're above ground and vertical. You have your health, right? You're in pretty good shape. Everybody's got a creak, an ache, and a pain or something, right? Yeah, it's very, very nice one. See, this is why, this is why we love Nicola. This is why we love. Look at this quote in the chat. "Live each day as if it's your last." Well, I've heard it said another way. Dance like nobody's watching. How are you? I've seen, Suzanne, I have seen you in your kitchen cleaning. Now, how cool would it be to live your whole life talking and interacting with people as if you're in the kitchen by yourself cleaning and your favorite music is on the radio and you're just dancing. Picture that right now. Picture that attitude. Picture that state of mind. Picture how great, how lively you feel, kind of bubbly, right? Life is good. Kitchen's getting clean. The music's popping. Yes, sir. That feeling, talk, make your public conversation and make your self talk match that feeling, that bubbly, bubbly feeling, that excitement, that joy in and about life. We were having this conversation on a Zoom call I was on yesterday, and the moderator, the host of the call, put a question to the floor. He said, "What is joy? How do you define joy?" And people were saying, "Well, it's happiness, good feelings, it's enjoyment." And oh, okay, these are all wonderful things. My mama taught me years and years ago that joy is a choice. Happiness is an emotion. And as we know, emotions come and go. Joy is the choice to see the positive all the time, in all situations. Joy is the choice to see a bright future. Joy is the choice to rise above unpleasant circumstances, unpleasant current circumstances, and fix our eyes and our hopes and our hearts on the future. What's that saying? What's that saying, Edward? What's that old saying from the good book? I know the plans I have toward you, plans to help you, to prosper you, and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. Well, that's one of my favorite words in the English language, hope. It's not my number one favorite word, but I like hope. Some of you have heard this story from me about some of my time and my struggles uh, living in the Middle East. While I was living in the Middle East, there was a time when I was really, really down on my luck, down and out, struggling financially, didn't have a job, et cetera, et cetera. One thing above all else kept me going. It was hope. It was the absolutely unshakable conviction, even when I'm living in a dirty ass labor camp, stomping out cockroaches and got no job, no money. The absolute unshakable conviction that tomorrow, today is rough. Today is rough. Tomorrow is going to be better. And you get to tomorrow, you get to the next, and that's today. Okay, it's rough. Tomorrow is going to be better. Tomorrow is going to be better. And what started to happen by forcing myself to still say in response to questions, how you doing, Glenn? I am doing fantastic. I'm doing great. How you feeling? I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling good. That's another one, by the way. Never talk about your health. You may want to jot this. Never talk about your health unless either it's good or you're talking to your doctor. Because with the exception of your closest friends, your family, and so forth, people who are really concerned and who can actually do something to help you physically, really and truly, for me to talk about my physical struggles and talk about how I'm hurting here and I'm sore there, generally speaking, that brings people down. And we do not bring people down. That's not who we are. Here in the John Lavenia Success Mastermind, we lift people up. We lift one another up. We encourage each other. We compel or influence each other to see the bright side of life. Now, does this all sound like kind of corny and unrealistic? Come on, Glenn. People have problems. We need to recognize that people have problems. People have struggles. It's not always beer and Skittles. It's not always a great day. Oh yeah? Says who? Says who? Who told you that there's some rule that says you're supposed to be sad when situations are difficult? Who told you that you're supposed to be depressed when you're facing a financial challenge? Who told you that you're supposed to be all upset and down and dragging around with a long face when you got fired from the job? Which, by the way, I've been fired from the job. Actually, I've full disclosure, I've never been fired from a job. Never. I've had conversations with an employer where they and I have agreed to part ways, but I've never been fired from a job. What am I talking about? By my own lack of performance on a job, I've always fired myself. People moan and groan, oh, that's sorry, SOB, a boss fired me. No, he didn't. You fired yourself. So where am I going with this? my friend that I was, my colleague in my business group that I was having a conversation with, I can't run a business. I don't know how to run a business. I've never run. And then she caught herself. It was a beautiful moment, y'all. She caught herself. She says, I can't run it. Oh, wait, no, Glenn, we've talked about this, right? I said, yeah. We talked about changing the way we frame things, reframing, using different words for how we look at situations. I said, go on. And she said, I am getting training and coaching, and I am learning how to run a business. There's no more I can't. It's I'm learning how to. There's no more I can't afford it. It's how can I afford it? Hat tip Robert Kiyosaki. You see how that one phrase can absolutely shift your thinking? I can't afford it is a dead end. How can I afford it is a trigger for creative thinking. You see the difference? How can I make this happen? I can't run a business. I don't know how. If I wanted to learn how to run a business, who could I call? Who could I reach out to acquire the skills that I need to run a business? My partner, my husband, my wife, and I, we can't get along. We just don't agree. We're having so many problems. What can I do today to help my wife in her job? I ask that all the time. My wife Paula has a very demanding job. She works in the oil and gas industry, and she's in a position of corporate leadership with her company, and it's pretty stressful stuff and very demanding, challenging. She enjoys it. She enjoys it immensely. What can I do to help Paula be more effective on her job? Well, for one thing, I can see to it that the kitchen is clean at all times. Yes. No, you're not hallucinating. You did just hear a man say, I make sure that the kitchen is clean at all times. Oh, okay, tell me if I'm wrong, Suzanne. I heard somebody say one time, Jane, Ali, you may be able to weigh in on this. I heard somebody say one time, to many women in the world, the greatest aphrodisiac on earth is an empty kitchen sink. I don't know whether that's true. I haven't actually conducted this survey myself. I do know that every woman I've ever met wants to be supported, wants to be helped, wants to be respected, listened to, heard. We've talked about this before, right? What do women want? Women want to be heard, perhaps more than anything else. So, but I digress. Um, how can I help Paula be more effective on her job? Not we just don't get along. We just can't figure this out. Oh, I'm just not making any money with my e-commerce thing. It's just not working out for me. What can I do to improve my results, to increase my stats, to make more sales in my e-commerce? Well, who could I, if I wanted, clearly there's something else I need to know. If I'm not getting the results I want, there's something else I need to know. There's something I need to do differently. Now, if I wanted to find out what it is that I need to do, who could I call? Oh, I know, Madam Chop Chop. Hello, Madam Chop Chop. I need your help. It sounds corny, but am I right or am I right? Did that not just shift your thinking? It's not working out for me. I don't know if this e-commerce thing is from, well, wait a minute, wait a minute. I want better results. I want to sell more widgets on my site. Who could I call that could help me out, that knows a little bit more of the ins and outs? I know. Call Madam Top Top. She knows all this stuff. So I'm going to wrap up with this. The next time I hear somebody on this call say, I can't, I'm going to interrupt the speaker and I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to take my finger. What do you mean can't? I am learning how to. How's your day? How are you doing? I am having the greatest day of my life. Try it. Okay. How did I get to be so positive? For probably 50 years now, I have been purposefully forcing myself to use positive language, to use optimistic phrases like, I'm doing fantastic. Oh, this is absolutely going to work out. Oh, I'm doing great. How's your business going, Glenn? Fantastic. Growing all the time. You and I ought to sit down and talk about it sometime. By the way, how are you doing? And you know what happened though? After a while, it didn't feel like forcing myself. It became natural. Like lifting weights. Like lifting weights, Mr. Olympia Lavenia. Like lifting weights, right? It's hard the first time. The very first time you get out there. After a while, you get used to the challenge. You get used to the work. After a while, it doesn't feel weird anymore to go to the gym and grab and start pumping some iron. The first 5 times you go out for a half-mile walk, it really feels strange because you got to get up a little earlier and, oh man, that pillow just felt so nice. But after a while, it doesn't feel weird anymore. I have a difficult time now using negative words, negative phrasing, not because I'm so great or because I'm such a fantastic guy or because my life is perfect all the time. It's because positive thinking, positive speaking, positive language has become a habit for me. And you and I are no different in this regard. You can, starting today, use positive language. How you doing? Fantastic. Not getting results. Okay, how can I? Who could I call to get coaching, to get some help with what I need? I can't afford. How can I afford it? Okay, I want this result. I want to be in this place. I'm not there yet. Okay, how can I get to there? What can I do differently? Matter of fact, who do I know that has achieved that thing that I want? That has reached that place, that rank, that position in their business and their company, that level of sales. Who do I know that has accomplished that? Okay, and what's their phone number? Is you picking up what I'm putting down? Can we see how changing a phrase from a can't, from I can't to how can I? I don't know how to, I'm learning how to. Simple things. How are you doing? Fantastic. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, and it kind of grinds my gears every time. How you doing? Uh, I'm doing all right, I guess. Well, you're above ground and vertical. You have the rest of your life, starting with today, opportunities ahead of you. You have, you want to hear my favorite word in the English language? Here it is. You have options. Not everybody does. Not everybody in the world has as many options as you have. Be grateful. Celebrate the fact that you are up and around and you can choose how to design your day, how to design your life. It's in your hands. So I get to choose. Oh man, that makes me feel good. One of the chapters in my book is called Two Words. And the two words are, no, I'm not going to give it away. You have to buy the book. You got to go read the book. You have choices. You have opportunities in front of you. Be excited. Be positive about where you are in your life and change your language to fit the beauty of where your life is. Oh, and by the way, and last but not least, you happy? Everything going great? You doing fantastic? Wonderful. Do me a favor. Notify your face. Oh, I love this stuff. Hey, who's got a thought? Who's got a comment? Because I've been running my mouth for a while, and I would love to hear what you think about this whole. Am I just being corny and unrealistic and ridiculous with this whole say it in a positive way? Tell me. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear. Carlene, just the ability to swallow. I was watching a movie years and years ago. There was a movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger called Eraser. And there's a scene in that movie where one guy grabs another dude and slams him up against the wall or something like this. You know, his face smashed up against the wall. And the guy says to him, some people take things for granted, like the ability to choose solid food. You know what I mean? So next time you're having a meal, celebrate the fact that you got teeth to chew it with. Not everybody does. Simple as that. Stuff like that. Ali, how are you doing? What's happening? What's on your mind? Let me hear.
Hi, Glenn. Oh, thank you. Lovely. Fantastic. Brilliant reminder.
See,
I think a couple of things just about how happiness is a choice. I think that's so powerful. We kind of feel like it's something that happens to us and we don't have a choice in the matter, but we can absolutely turn our thoughts and like you've been saying, but I think that's a really powerful thing. And just the power of it. I mean, some of us are in the middle of Nicola's wonderful course of affirmations, and that's the power of affirming every day. A positive affirmation is just so powerful, but for me has kept my level, because obviously many times I've gone low, but actually keeping those affirmations has kept my kind of inner vibration feeling happier, much happier. And so true how powerful it is. So thank you, Glenn.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ali. It's amazing what happens to our life, to our outlook, our perspective, simply by changing a couple of words, by changing a couple of phrases. And here we get to hear from the queen of the affirmation. Lay it down for us, Nicola. What's on your mind? Let me hear.
We need to hear you every day. It just keeps, like you say, Ali, it's that level of vibration. And if you're not careful and you don't pay attention to it, and you don't have reminders, aka Glenn, every day, then it can drop. But I thought I'd just share. So I've got a fascination now with the mind and the power of thoughts, and I thought I'd just share maybe where my journey started with it. Ali, I think I included it on one of the days actually, so you've maybe heard this. It was maybe about 10 years ago now, and no secret, I've had lots of health challenges in the past, and I was in a place in my life where it wasn't great. It was kind of chronic fatigue, depression, and I went to see a therapist, and at the end of the session she sat down and gave me an affirmation to repeat, and I'd never even heard of them at that point. That's certainly what I wasn't expecting to walk away with, a little phrase written down on a piece of paper. So all she told me to do was to go away and recite it in the mirror morning and night for the next 30 days. So I thought she was a bit nuts, but I started doing it anyway. And I remember it like it was yesterday, because I can honestly say I didn't notice anything overnight, but it was probably halfway through, I started, you just kind of reflect back and think, wait a minute, I've actually got a much more energy throughout the day. And the affirmation was, I live life to the full with love, joy, energy, and wonder. And none of that like resonated with me at the time. I didn't feel like I was living life anywhere near that level. So I just thought, well, this is just daft. I don't believe it. But somehow it started to actually implant itself into my thoughts. And each day after that, I noticed I had more energy, I was more vibrant, I had a smile on my face during the day at work. And by the end of that 30 days, I think I said that in the course, Ali, I was literally hooked. I thought if some simple, and I didn't understand how at the time, I've kind of been on a bit of a quest now to understand it, but if something as simple as saying that phrase in the mirror to yourself morning and night can have that kind of impact on how you feel, then it's well worth continuing that practice. So that just kind of started me on it's quite a slow journey until the past couple of years, but of really understanding the power of our thoughts and why, like you say, you have to become really conscious of them, and you have to become conscious of what you choose to put out, because I've learned since then, whatever you put out into the world is your level of vibration, and that is exactly the level that you will attract back to you. So if you're putting out a low vibe words and thoughts, then you'll find more reasons and more things in your environment to confirm that low vibe back to you. So that to me is now why it's really important to be conscious of your thoughts and your words if you want to attract more of that back to your life. So I love this subject. I could talk all day, so thank you for that.
Oh, thank you, Nicola. You bring so much power, your vibration in this group. So you would say, would you agree, Nicola, with the statement that whatever we say and however we occur in the world, the universe is paying attention?
Yes, and I can look at it from two ways. So the universe and the law of attraction are at work and will bring more people, resources, circumstances to you based on the level of frequency you're vibrating at. So you can look at it from that perspective, or you can look at it more from a kind of what's going on scientifically within the brain, and something I'm doing a hypnotherapy course, so I'm starting to understand a bit more about this, but there's something called the reticular activating system in the brain.
Oh, I love talking about the RAS.
Brilliant. Which is basically our brain's way of filtering information. So of all the millions of bits of information we get every day, the brain will filter what it thinks it needs. So if you're putting out feelings like I was previously of a diseased body and flow, then your brain will filter the information to bring you more of that. So you'll start to notice more of it. And if that's what you're looking for, that's what you'll get. That's what you'll see. It's like when you go on Google, and if you Google something, we all do it. You kind of want an answer, but you'll keep searching through the top 10 to find the one. You might not realize you're doing it, but you are, to find the one what confirms that the reason that you kind of went there in the first place, and you'll discard the others. That's what it's doing.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? We get exactly what we're looking for. That's good. Oh, that's good, Nicola. Thank you. I live every day to the full with what? Love, joy, energy, and wonder.
Yes.
Thank you. I've got it written down.
Ah.
Edward, what's happening, my friend?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Please go forward.
Good deal. Thank you. Well, one of the things that I like to do is I like to shock people when they ask me how I'm doing, because what I'll say is I'm splendiferous, you know,
Don't get much better than that.
or I'm fantasterific.
I like this. Fantasterific.
Yeah. Colossal, stupendous, magnanimous, you know, just the words that come out of me at that time is a validation of where I'm going. It might not be where I am right now, but it's where I'm going. It's where I want to be. So I try to, you know, give them the vibe that I want to receive myself. So that's why I make up the words that may not be words in, you know, Webster's, but the words to me, splendiferous. I mean, think about it. That is keeps on going. You can keep on going with the iferous and everything else, because it just, you know, magnifies the emotion of the vibration that you want. Like Nicola was talking about, the vibration you create is, you know, kind of like what the Bible says. The Bible says you have what you say, you know, and, you know, it's
by
amazing.
The words of your mouth.
Yeah, hung by the tongue, you know. So all of us have that power because, you know, it's a creative force that we have within us. And if we use that power, you know, and we don't doubt and only believe, I mean, that's really pretty much the key. So I'm excited about, you know, having this positive input in my life, because what it does, it allows me to share more with other people. And it edifies them, it edifies my mission as well.
Oh, I love it. You know, Edward, one phrase, among all of what you said, which was fantastic. I'm sorry, fantabularific.
Fantasterific.
One phrase jumped out at me. You said, I like to give out the vibration that I wish to receive. Did y'all catch that? I give out the vibration that, you know, you ever see somebody just kind of walking around, hangdog look, and like they're waiting for something, like they're waiting for something good to happen in their life? You ever met somebody, ever had a conversation and you get the vibe off them that they're kind of waiting for something good to happen? Well, I say, and I imagine you'd agree, Edward, you want something good to happen in your life? Make something good happen, preferably for somebody else.
Well, I read that if you, whatever vibe you give off, the universe is matching that vibe. So if the universe is matching the vibe, you know, you can't afford to give off anything but what you want. You know, it's just modeling you, you know.
I radiate
like you were saying, NLP, same thing, you know, same thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I saw Nicola here with the head. Oh yes, that is so true. Hey, and we are so privileged here in the John Lavenia Success Master. Do you know how much I love saying that phrase? The John Lavenia Success Mastermind. Because it almost flows. Look, it sounds cool. And I'm sure John enjoys hearing his name repeated in songs songs of praise. Mr. John Lavenia, pumping his name up, and I'm sure it's a nice, you know, head sweller for the ego. But you know, we all know John doesn't roll that way. But you know, tongue bath, is that what he calls it? Giving everybody a tongue bath. Think about this. And I love what you said, Edward. Absolutely love it. The universe vibrates at the frequency that we give out. Star Trek, it's called a quantum signature in Star Trek language. Quantum signature. Everyone walks around with a vibration. You can use a special camera and measure it and see it, right? Our aura, soon as I saw that, I thought, quantum signature. And what I want to experience from the universe, I need to first give that out. I want to be happy. Oh, right. I know. Go make someone happy. Go bring happiness. Go bring a little joy into somebody else's life. Like, oh, gee, I don't know. Wealth Wednesday. Do something nice for somebody today. Random act of kindness, complete stranger involving a financial exchange. Let me hear. I see. I was talking such good about her earlier, saying, if I wanted to do something, if I wanted to improve my results on my e-com, who could I call that is? Oh yeah, Madam Chop Chop. How are you?
Hey, Glenn. You know that there is no way you're going to be talking and I'm not going to say something. So thank you.
I'm not a bit surprised. Please.
Thank you for all the energy. Thank you for all your wisdom. What you're saying, it kind of makes me think a little bit about gratitude. I think our attitude will shift if we started our day with gratitude. We have so much more than the rest of the world. And it can start with something as, like Carlene said, you can swallow, you can breathe, you have a roof over your head, you have water. Jesus Christ, we can go and brush our teeth and we can just have running water. And so many people do not. But it's so easy for us as human beings that are not in a mastermind group to just go to the negative, oh, my day didn't start the way I wanted it today. Oh, I don't have any sales today, or I don't have anybody that I'm going to go and call, or my car broke down, or whatever. It's so easy. But if we just started our day with gratitude and take a deep breath, you guys, and be thankful for what we do have, write a list of all the good that you have in your life every day. Take a look at what you don't have. And it's such a difference. I think that starts your day, your attitude, your shift, oh, I have too much work, or oh, I am super busy. Why put it in a negative context? Why don't you say, thank God I'm super busy and I have so much business, that
think about the alternative, right?
it's going fast, because it's like, be happy. Be happy. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself and say, you're fantastic. You're awesome. You're going to rock it today. And with that being said, I cannot get off this call without saying, today is my birthday. So yes, I am happy.
Happy birthday, Evelyn. So
Happy birthday.
you finally, congratulations. Finally, now you can walk into a bar and order a drink legally. Fantastic. Way to go.
I'm of age now. I can have a margarita. So
Well done, you. Well done, you.
this group needs to go there and put a cake for me, because I've been putting cakes for everyone. So come on.
Come on, y'all. Who's on birthday cake duty today in the Facebook group?
Somebody has to do it. Come on.
Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Lindsay Dollar, you've been voluntold.
Volunteer.
It's my mom's birthday too, so it's great.
Hey.
Fantastic. We're cool people. All of us that were born in April. We're super cool.
Well, it is. It is springtime babies. Springtime babies always want you.
Right? Renewal. But anyways, Nicola, thank you so much for all your lovely affirmations and EVA. Yesterday, you killed the girl. That was fantastic. I think that being in this group makes each and every one of us better. So thank you. Thank you again for everything.
Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn. Force of nature, our Evelyn Melendez. So great. I just like seeing all these smiling faces, people all happy and enjoying life and looking forward to good things, looking forward to the future. Do you know how many people walk around every day absolutely dreading the future? Walking around in a, what's the word, Edward? how many people walking around in a spirit of fear, with fear just hanging around them all the time, and so terrified of this or that circumstance or this or that problem or some lack of money or the other, some political situation or some, some disease or something gonna kill us all, and the devil and this and the zombie apocalypse is coming.
False evidence appearing real.
Robbing themselves of the joy they could be experiencing by walking around afraid of everything and everybody. Well, now that sounds to me like another topic for another session on another day. Let's talk about some fear sometime. What do you think? Like could be a juicy topic. Fear and what to do and how to overcome some fear. Well, let me not get started. Let me not get started with that. We'll be here for another hour. But it's so encouraging and exhilarating to me to be able to sit here and look and seeing all of these faces of people who are choosing on a daily basis to see a bright future, who are choosing to take action to build a bright future for themselves and for their families. And because we know that we're doing that, because we know that we have chosen to see the sunny side of life, we know a couple of things also. First of all, we know that a conscious daily choice to be positive, to be optimistic, to see a bright future, well, for one thing, it's going to make us appear insane to most of the people who know us. Because most people don't see the future that way. Most people don't see their life that way, do they? So get used to being looked at a little funny. Number two, it makes work, as Evelyn was just saying, it makes work enjoyable. It makes work joyful because we know that we are moving and acting with a purpose. You ever heard the story? I may have shared this one before about a man walking down the street in a city somewhere in the world, and there's a construction project going on. Looks like a church or something. And as he's walking by this construction site, he sees two men working with bricks and mortar and laying, and setting it up and cutting. And he comes to the first gentleman and says, "Sir, what are you doing?" And the guy looks up at him, real mean look on his face. What do you mean by asking me such a stupid question? Can't you see what I'm doing? I'm laying bricks here. Matter of fact, you're interrupting me. What do you want? I got work to do here. Sorry. And he goes on to the next gentleman and says, "Sir, what are you doing?" And the man looks up with a beatific smile and says, "Can't you see what I'm doing? I'm building a cathedral." Wow. Wow. Close it out with this. How do you see your life? How do you see the world? How do you see your future? It's your choice. And by the way, make your choice. Choose to see the sun. Choose to see a limitless future and smile about it. Choose joy for your future and choose language that expresses that joy. Choose language that expresses your positive outlook. It may feel weird at first, it may feel forced, corny, artificial, but I can tell you from personal experience, after a while, it will become habit. And habit then becomes nature. And nature becomes your personality. And by daily steps, small daily actions, you've got to mold your personality and become the person who is creating that bright future for yourself and for your family. Holy moly, what a good topic today. I have enjoyed this. Say something nice to somebody today. How you doing, Jane? I am having the greatest day of my life. Fantabularific, fantasterific. Great stuff. Listen, you all have a fabulous day. Hey, oh yeah, housekeeping. I almost forgot to let you all know what's coming down, what's happening later on today. Let's have a look, and we will finish and wrap up with this. We've got the hospitality suite right after us. Swing by, say hi. We'd be glad to see you. And then later on, we've got Books for Britain, 2 p.m. Eastern. Mandy, and then I shall be back with you this evening at 9 Eastern with Networking Magic. What have I forgotten? Did I forget something? I think that's everything. I think we're straight. Thank you all so much. Have a fabulous, make it a fabulous day, because it already is. Have a good one. We shall see you very, very soon.
Thanks,
Bye for now.
Glenn.